What's up, everybody? Happy freaking Friday. Welcome to the Local Marketing Institute Q&A Live. Institute. All right. With my fabulous co-host, Greg Gifford from Search Lab Digital. You can find him on Twitter, not X, at Greg Gifford. And myself, Ben Fisher with Steady Demand at The Social Dude on Twitter.
I
Not
feel like it
X.
could be kind of fun to change the name to the Local Marketing Institute.
Maybe in 2 weeks, right? I'm just saying. And we have north of 2,505 members on the Local Marketing Institute Connect. And if you want Greg and I in your ear any day of the week, anytime, or in your car, just grab our podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And why do I keep on reading these things? They're right there. Oh, wait. Oh, because we're in people's ears. Got it. All right. All right, let's get started. So, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming and joining us. Yes, we have been off for at least 4 weeks. We can all thank Greg's schedule for this. Thank you, Greg.
Sorry.
We appreciate you, brother. So, that being said, hey, everybody, happy freaking Friday. What we're going to do today is, let's see. All right, let's get a sound off in the chat real quick. Who all's here today? All right. What's up, Michael? How you doing? Mark, good to see you. Kelsey, hey. Michael. What's up, Mike B? Awesome. Hardy, haven't seen you in a while, buddy. What's up, Wendy? All right, cool.
Michael Hardy's here twice.
Is Mike Hardy here? We get twice the Hardy?
If you look in the participants, he's twice.
Oh, we get twice the Hardy. Oh, right on. Oh, Mike's been lurking. He's been lurking twice. What do you want to? What's the over under on the fact that maybe he is an anonymous attendee?
Maybe.
I don't know.
We've got 2 Todds also.
Really, we got 2 Todds.
Yeah.
See, that's something the anonymous attendee would say, Michael. I'm just saying. They would say no. They would say that they're not.
It's a little sus.
Just saying. So, all right, cool, very cool. So, you all have a choice. Okay, the choice is this: we can either answer the 4 or 5 pizza. That is the proper answer. 100%.
Michael wins.
Michael wins. Yes. So we should get like a pizza ass hat. I'm just saying, right? We got the link ass hat. We should get a pizza ass hat. All right. So, or we could just get another shirt. The answer always is pizza. Yep. All right. So we've got 5 questions that have been harvested over the last couple of weeks. People might be here for the answers, or we've got about 20 questions, which are questions that people previously had. However, they may not be here to hear the answer. So we're going to leave it up to you, our lovely audience. What do you want? Do you want the 5 which have recently been asked, or the 20 that have been previously asked to be answered? We're going to leave it to you. Greg, kick us off with some music while we wait for the answers. All right. Okay.
New questions are winning.
New is winning. 4 new, 3 20s. No new. Yeah. New. All right. Well, I think we've got our answer.
We have to do the news.
Believe it or not, there's actually not that much news today. It's been freaking 4 weeks, and there's just not that much news. Most of the shit that's out there is all tests. However, we do have some breaking news for you today. And that is, you've heard us talk about this before, the new suspension appeal process, formerly called the suspension reinstatement process, is now 100% fully rolled out for the entirety of the world. Also, to put in some a little bit of extra, I don't know, cherry on top. You don't know this, but the product experts have been fighting for you to get a re-review process if you fail your first attempt at getting a reinstatement. I'm sorry, appeal. And now there it actually does exist. So you get two. You got them. Two swings to basically get your appeal to go through. And there's the links for everybody. So, number one, if you want to read the support document that talks about the appeal process, if you want the appeal tool, or if you want the link to the re-review tool, it's all right here for you. So, there you go. Greg, what are your thoughts on this bucko?
I mean, it's good they finally rolled it out. It's always confusing when you kind of have some of the old stuff hanging out and kind of some of the new stuff. And thank God they added in the re-review because it was going to
Process.
suck for everybody if you just had one shot and that was it.
Yeah. No, I mean, then again, I mean, I do need to make sure that everybody understands this could change at any time. They could remove the re-review process from anybody at any time. And they might. So we don't know. But enjoy while you got it. All right. A little bit of housekeeping before we get into everything else. And that is if you have any questions, please pop them into the Q&A section and we will absolutely get to them, just like we're about to get to the ones in the Q&A that we have now, right? So let's go ahead and get to the questions. All right. You want to lead us off there,
We're
Greg?
doing the new ones first.
We're doing the new ones first.
We're doing the new ones first, and there's a new one that just came in from Michael Hardy that I assigned to you.
A new one?
So you go first. So it's another new. So it's actually six new ones, not five. So
Thank
Michael's
you.
question to you is about business hours, and he says, "Hey guys, do you recommend extending GBP hours beyond actual business hours in order to increase search visibility after hours?"
Paul, I don't know if you were lurking when Greg and I were talking about this last time, but the
Michael.
answer is no. And why I'm going to say no. I mean, there's a maybe in there. The reason I'm going to say no is this: is if it's after hours and you cannot actually service your customer, how good of an experience is that? I'm going to say it's pretty crappy, right? That's what I'm going to say. And on the flip side of this, is it a God? I'm not calling it a ranking factor. Fuck that. It is. Are you if you're visible at those hours, will you show? Yes, you will. But again, if your customers can't actually get in touch with you, it's kind of worthless. It's a bad experience. What you got, Greg?
Are you having problems hearing me?
No.
Why does everybody else say yes? Like Michael and Steven are like, and Donna, everybody's like, they can't hear me.
Hmm. Yeah, lean in,
I
buddy.
wonder why my volume is low. Like it's the same as it always is. Kelsey can hear me fine. Maybe Ben's just louder.
Of
I don't
course, I am louder.
know. No, I would completely agree. Changing your hours, like I don't want to talk trash about people, but pay attention when you see something that is labeled as a study. Because when certain agencies do things for one client and get results, but don't repeat it for other clients, it doesn't necessarily mean that Google always works that way. And this was a big buzz several months back, but it doesn't really affect all businesses this way. Yeah, there's big fluctuation in some service businesses, but not in others. But it's clearly a bug. Like, come on. Like,
Well, it's not really a bug. Okay, so it has
I mean, not a
been.
bug, but like, come on. Like, sure, if I'm looking for an emergency dentist, then it matters that it shows me things that are open now. If I'm looking
Yeah.
for HVAC repair, it matters that I get something that's, or plumber, it matters that I get something that's open now. If I'm looking for restaurants and it's 2 a.m. and I'm looking because I'm going somewhere this weekend, it shouldn't matter. And it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I
And,
mean,
and like Ben said, it's more
mm,
about the customer experience. Why would you want to say you're open 24 hours when you're not? That's a bad customer experience. It's going to lead to bad reviews. It's going
yep.
to lead to pissed off customers. And you're doing something because you heard in general that if you're closed, you don't rank. Have you actually tested it? Because in your vertical, it may not even be a factor.
From the things that I've seen out there, right? And of course, Danny Sullivan said that they added it to their what they call their ranking system, right? Which basically states that they turned it up a little bit. Before, even if you didn't have your hour set, you might show, right? You might display based on the query. They just turned it up so it says that, okay, if it's 8:01 and your settings are for 8, so you're closed at 8, then possibly at 8:01, you're just not going to show up in the maps anymore. You're not going to show up for queries, which I think makes a shitload of sense. You know, if I'm looking for a painter and I call somebody at 8:01 and they say they're open and that just goes to voicemail, I'm never calling this person back. I'm just not going to do it. And I'm not going to leave a message. So anyway, the real short answer is do what's best for your customer, and the ranking is not what's best for your customer actually in this case.
All right.
With that, I think we are going to be on to you, my friend. And this one comes from Jeff, and Jeff is here. So he leads off with, so sorry to ask you about Apple Maps again. Obviously, you're not sorry because you're asking the question, Jeff, but okay. So their agency dashboard thing has so many hurdles. It's so lame. Is it worth it to manage a client's Apple Maps listings? Are there actual benefits? Oh my God. Thanks.
Yeah, it's totally worth it because it's Apple Maps, and every customer that wants to find you on Apple Maps, that's a pretty significant number of people. You want to make sure your information's correct. So yeah, it's worth it.
I think there actually is all there is to say. I have customers every day well, not every day, every week that come to me and say, hey, can you manage our Apple Maps? Or can you get a hold of our Apple Maps? Somebody else put it in there. The information's inaccurate. Well, yeah, you should fix it. So, all right. Let's see. On to the next one there, buddy.
The next one is about a GBP suspension, and it's from Mark. Let's see if Mark's here. Mark's not here. But Mark, if you're listening, your question's getting answered. Mark says, we'd like to know how or what is the basis of GBP suspending one account after just being verified? And besides reinstatement, what else can we do about it?
Yeah, this is actually pretty common. So, um, I've actually had this happen in so many different circumstances. But the fact of the matter is this, is that you're doing your verification with a video, right? And once the AI goes through the video, if it's probably going to take a couple more days, that's a human actually going through the video. What I see is I see clients or merchants basically submitting a video that they think is perfect. It is the perfect video verification. And then what I say is, okay, so you failed and you got suspended. Well, why don't you show me this video so I can go take a look at it? And I'll take a look at it and it's got the same classic mistakes. You know, guy runs up to his house, goes into his office and, goes into the kitchen. Boom, there he is. That's it, right? He ran past any kind of signage that he has. He ran past the cross streets. As a matter of fact, the signage was a piece of paper. Okay, great. Fantastic. So you did everything that could have been done to fail, you did. So I guess what I'm saying is that if you got suspended right away, there's already a problem. And it could be something as simple as a problem with the address too, by the way. Let's say your virtual office. So any of those things are possible. What can you do besides reinstatement? Well, you can start over. That is possible. Not advised, because the more times you try and create new, the more chances you have for what's called a red flag. Basically, it's spam activity. You could have a professional look over your video and make sure your video is good. You could go to the community and do the same thing and ask for a product expert to go ahead and review your video. Do these all the time. Throw it up on a Google Drive and bring it, just, come and post it. Don't be talking about how perfect it is. Just ask for the help. Make sure you include as much information as possible, please. And that's really it, actually. So you have no other choices but to do a good video, B, get it checked, C, Start new or go through reinstatement. Anything you got to add to that, buddy?
No, that was perfect.
All right,
Almost
sweet.
like you know what you're talking about, man.
No, I don't think so. All right, so let's see. All right, so this one comes from Dan Alt. So let's see. Yep,
Dan's
exactly.
not here. Should we maybe hold this one
Hmm.
until Dan is here?
This is more of a troubleshooting, isn't it? Actually.
I feel like it's going to be more valuable for Dan. Dan, if you're listening, you should have been here, but I feel like it's more valuable to Dan if we do this while Dan's here, right?
Fine. We can skip it. Hold
I mean, like,
on.
I'm not like I'm saying I want to skip
Doink.
stuff, but like, don't you
Nope,
agree it's
nope,
probably
nope.
more
Nope,
beneficial
we're
for
skipping
him?
it. We're skipping
All right. And
it.
that means,
Decision made. Next question is still for you.
okay,
All right. This one is from Luann Weller. Is Luann here?
Luann is here.
All right. Then guess what? Luann, you are going to have your question answered. All right. So, ooh, look at that. We got 7 in the Q&A. Awesome. All right. So, this one is possible for both locations to show when searching for company. We discussed this one in the green room, Luann, so you're going to love this. Okay. She starts out by apologizing. Sorry, this is going to be long to explain, so let me give you some context. Ready for this, Greg?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay. Is there any way to get both locations for one business to show in search when searching for company name? We have a client with a logging company and another mulch location. The mulch location is newer and not as prominent in search results. They both want listings to show when people search their company name, such as the mulch location is open on Saturdays, but the logging is not. It's causing confusion when customers want to get mulch who only see their logging, and they think they are closed on Saturdays. The client showed examples for other businesses who have their locations all listed with A, B, and C. I think the only way to get it is to get it with bulk verification. Not. Any thoughts?
All right. So the A, B, and C thing is only in a branded search. So if you're searching Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and there's multiple locations all in a short area, then you're going to get that ABC. For something like this, probably not likely to happen. You just answered that the name is the same for both locations. So there's no way for customers to know the difference between the regular location and the mulch location. That's probably a bit of a problem. And they're 32 miles apart. So that's definitely a problem because proximity is an issue. And if they're closer to the logging location is the one that's going to show. And it also depends on what they're searching because if they're searching for the location name and a city, but the mulch location's 32 miles away in another city, but that's still what they're looking for, then that's a problem because customers associate the logging location in the city as the business and location, but mulching is somewhere half an hour away. So, no, there's not a way to get both. I think your issue is probably more around branding. I would call the other one the mulch location or something different about it to differentiate the fact that this one has mulch and the other one doesn't. I would definitely get better information on your website for customers to understand that. And I think that's probably your best bet, unless Ben has another idea. But if you're calling them the exact same name and they're at least a half an hour apart, you're never going to get both of them to show on the same search results.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and realistically, I don't think you want them to show actually at the same time from a consumer intent standpoint. I completely agree that, a DBA and maybe some signage should be done for the mulching location specifically, or the logging, whichever, just choose one. And, let's call it, Greg Gifford's mulch, and the other one's Greg Gifford's logging, or something like that. I don't think you want them both to show up on Saturday because the fact of the matter is one's closed. So why would it show? You change your hours so it's closed because it is closed. And like Greg was saying, no, you can't get the ABC period. And yeah, the distance, that's what's killing you here, basically. It's just not going to happen. No matter what your customer says, You can tell them that the Google Business Profile product experts have said, no, it's not going to happen. With that,
And we have another question for you.
all right, let's do it.
This one is from Paul, who I'm pretty sure is here today, right? Paul's here.
Paul's always here.
Paul's not here today.
What?
Paul Lampland, you are fired and you are disinvited. Oh, Paul is here.
Now
Paul
he's
is the double M.
Paul's marketing
Paul's the
manager.
probably potentially anonymous attendee.
Yeah, and he's communicating to
Because
just us,
anonymous
not everybody
attendee and
else.
AA marketing manager is also two of the same letter.
Yeah.
It's a bit shady.
And like I said, he's only chatting to us. He's not chatting to everybody.
He's just doing it because he wants the hat.
Oh, he wants a cap. Okay, all right, okay.
Okay, so his question is I am receiving GBP ownership transfer requests to many of the listings in our account.
Yep.
And while I rejected the first one, I'm wary that this may be a copycat scam to look like a legitimate email from Google. I believe I typically have 3 days to reply, or the ownership rolls over to the requester. I am now concerned that I responded and worried if I don't respond to the others. Has someone been scammed this way?
So it's really simple, actually, as far as an answer goes. This is ownership requests. Hijacks happen with ownership requests all the freaking time. I had one customer who was like, I didn't respond to it because I didn't want to give them ownership. And I thought if I did, it would give them ownership. Well, guess what? They got hijacked in 72 hours. Yeah, not a good idea. The general rule of thumb is this, is if you see one of these and the customer has not said, hey, this is happening, deny it.
Yep.
Period. Just deny it. Don't wait. Don't ask. Don't think. Just deny it. Otherwise, guess what? Your client and could end up with a hijack, and then you are going to end up with a headache for about 3 to 4 weeks with a possible lawsuit.
Yep.
So I hate to say the L word, but in this case, if it's your actions that cause the hijack, you can get in trouble. So anyway, it's incorrect, right? I'm just going to call you from now on. Yes, it comes from a no reply email address. That is correct. It always is going to come from a no reply email address. Just reject it. Period. Done. That's it. Yeah. All right.
And with that, we are done with those pre-submitted questions.
We are. I
feel like we jump over to the live questions and then jump back to stuff that we didn't get to from last time, right?
Or we just did the live
last time first.
No, now we're just going to go stuff we didn't get to last time.
All right.
So it's already pre-sorted.
Except that first one.
Well, actually, no. Actually, no, my friend. I mean, we are at this juncture. This list is old. So we do have a choice, which I think the audience should make. Audience, we have 9 new Q&As from people who are here. We also have, like I said, we've got about 10-ish questions from like 4 to 6 weeks ago. So, and you can all vote right now on, do you want us to answer new or old?
Wendy must have one in the old questions. Looks like the news pretty clearly win it.
Yeah, new. Old got like 2.
All right, then.
So, which means that Sheila and Wendy probably both have old questions waiting for us. We will get to them. We will get to the old, but we're going to do the new first. All right. So let's see. We need to sort this. It's always sorts it by most recent, I guess.
Okay, the first one is the one we just did, I think. Paul, the one that you put in right when we started, is that the same issue that we just answered, or is this a different one?
Yeah, it's the same
issue,
one.
so we can skip that.
Boom, gone.
Elena's question isn't a question. She put it in the wrong spot, so we could skip that.
Happy Friday, Elena.
Michael, we answered his question already because he sent it in by email.
Yep, okay.
So that means Kelsey's question is first.
All right. Oh, my turn, your turn.
Buddy. This is a good one. Nice question, Kelsey.
All right, I'm going to give it to you regardless. Okay, then. Okay, so Kelsey McLennan asks, I was wondering if you have any thoughts or insight into the talk about GBP posts going away. Go.
They're not going away. This was, if you read carefully, this was misinterpretation of an announcement or misinterpretation of something that was found, where now Google is potentially surfacing social media posts from connected social profiles on your business profile. And somebody at Search Engine Land wrote a post that was like, does this mean Google Posts are going away? Because now they're feeding in social and like they're taking a logical leap that doesn't make sense. And it's coming from the normal people out there that don't understand that Google Posts are not social media. They're ads that appear on your profile. They're completely separate from social media. No one has said anything about them going away. This was a complete illogical
Fabrication.
leap that someone made on Search Engine Land, and then social media blew up about it, going, oh my God, did you see Search Engine Land? Google Posts are going away. They're not going away.
Yeah. So I will just add to that. Social posts is a kick freaking ass new feature for Google Business Profiles. It's only on mobile. It's in a collapsible thing. It's bringing in your last social posts. I'm not going to, I can't really say as to where they're coming from exactly, but let's just say if you have posts, if you have links in your GBP to your social profiles, it's probably coming from there. So this was predicted a long time ago. The death and demise of Google profile posts is greatly exaggerated, like Greg was saying. I even went on to, I think it was Darren's thread today, where he's like, oh my God, here's why I think they are going away. And I'm like, no, they're not going away. Just no, stop. And however, that being said, you know, it's very, Google is Googly, and that is any feature of Google Business Profile goes away when they want it to and is deprecated based on usually data in usage, etc., or GPDR shit from Europe. Just like how websites just went away. Okay, so that means any feature can go away. But is it going to be the death of posts because of social? No, not at all. Mark our words on that.
Next question. Sorry, I'm reading what Kelsey wrote. Okay. Alana's
Oh,
question for you. Actually, a
yes.
question this time and not a statement like she made earlier. So,
All
Alana, you
right.
got it right eventually. So, kudos for that. She says, hey guys, I have a client that just opened a brand new location. The other day, he asks, why aren't all my locations showing up when I do a branded search? What can I tell him? I'm under the impression that the profile is brand new and needs time to gain traction, get reviews, etc. He has 3 GBPs and 2 show up, but not the newest one. The new profile is maybe 2 weeks old. Do you think adding location pages on his website that correlate with the GBPs will make a difference so they will all show up? And then she
Interesting.
clarified the 3 GBPs have some variation in name, but only to identify that one is outpatient, one is the main center, and one is the trauma center. Otherwise, they all have the company name as the GBP name. They're all located close to each other, but in different cities and zip
Ooh,
codes.
different cities and zip codes. There you go. That's actually you just hit the nail on the head. That's why they won't show. Again, distance is huge with Google. Proximity, basically. So yeah, I mean, now if you want to go into Google Maps and type in all in title, colon, and the name, guess what? You'll get all three. No problem. Um, Same thing in Google search. If you type in the name in quotes, you'll get all three, usually. But distance is going to be the killer for all this, for this, because if they're in different zip codes in different cities. So I don't think you're going to get what you want. As far as a ranking factor or ranking timing goes, it's really different actually per profile. But the average can be anywhere from instantaneous to 3 to 6 months. So just got to have patience there.
Well, and also your client, I mean, she specifically said the client is asking, why aren't all my locations showing up when I do a branded search? It's likely the client is at one of those locations when he's doing the search, which means whichever one is the new one is probably not right next to him and it's further away. And of course, Google's going to show him the closest one due to proximity.
Yeah.
So that's another easy way to explain it to them. Like, you're searching from this location. Of course, this location is going to show, and not the one that's 5 cities over, or however far
Yeah.
it is.
And actually, Elena, since you're basically going to your client with this, I would also kind of put this as a caveat. And you'll sound super smart, by the way, when you say this, because it's true. And that is that the Google Business Profile and search are two separate organizations inside of Google. GBP just is not does not work together with search. Search does not work with GBP. So GBP, the only thing you can do is make sure it's healthy. You do that and you can find out it's healthy by searching the name of the company and the zip code. As long as it comes up, it's healthy actually. Search is a different component, different algorithm. It dictates ranking visibility, basically. And so with that being said, is search needs time to understand the entity. So therefore it is going to take more time. Just explain to them kind of like that, and they'll be like, huh? Huh? Okay. You rock.
Yeah.
And by the way, they're not Walmart. They're not going to get the ABC either. Just
Yep.
saying. All right. So we have a second question from Elena, but I'm going to ask you, Greg.
All right.
All right. One of my clients asked me if I could combine his two GBPs, transfer all of his reviews to one. I know, I know. I'm certain this is impossible. Can you confirm it's something that can't be done?
Potentially, it could be done if they're duplicate listings, but
Correct.
I'm guessing your client has two different locations that are legitimate locations, and for whatever reason is closing one and wanting to just retain all the reviews from the second location. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep. If it's two different locations in two cities, you can't do it. The reviews are tied to that location. He can't take 100 reviews from a city that's 2 hours away and get the reviews added to a location that they don't relate to. So yeah, you can't do that.
I'm going to add a caveat. You can try. It doesn't hurt to try. As long as, like if it's a storefront, definitely make sure you have signage before you try. Because anytime you reach out to Google, they can suspend you. So, so yes, you could tell your customer, look, this is not how it works. It doesn't function this way. It's separate employees, separate
Oh,
experiences. Oh God, it's addiction treatment
no,
center.
you
No,
won't be able
don't
to do
even
it.
try. Don't even
Don't
try.
even try. Don't even want to get eyeballs on it.
Yeah, don't even try. You're done.
Yep. Yep.
All
All
right.
right. That means the next question comes to you from our dear friend anonymous attendee, although in
Mr.
parentheses it
Tendy.
says not anonymous attendee, by the way, LOL. My friend owns a med spa business and wants to work with an agency that provides online scheduling requests. Do you have any recommendations besides Tebra and PatientPop?
No,
Cool. That was
no.
quick and easy.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
actually.
I don't either. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay. Um, Al
All right.
Anthony has a question for you then, right?
All
I think
right.
it's your turn, I believe, right? Yeah, okay. Okay. I don't know. We need a sound for that, by the way.
For what?
Like, is it your turn or is it my turn? Your turn or my
Oh, yeah.
turn?
Yeah.
Just like, either that or we got to record one.
Yep.
Okay. So, a garbage bin company, dumpsters, was sold to a competitor and has a new address. In changing the address on the GBP, Google asked for a verification video. So far, this makes sense, by the way. So the business address is now in the purchasing company's location. The trucks and the bins are still branded, but they don't bill or have utility bills to the purchase company. Ooh, things are getting interesting. Did a verification video showing sign, branded truck, went inside, showed purchase contract in relation to the purchaser. Google did not accept the video. What do I need to do?
Uh, all right. So, Al, is the purchasing company also a garbage bin company, or were they another type of maybe related, maybe not company that bought that to add into their portfolio?
The
We don't
sound of
know.
silence.
They do bins plus toilets and fencing, but they already had garbage bins.
Yes.
So then it shouldn't be as difficult because they're just purchasing another company that did the same thing.
I think I know
But
what the problem is.
what do you think the problem is?
All right. And I just have to ask one question. So you have Garbage Company A. This is the company which is the purchasing company. Garbage Company B, which is the one that was purchased and that you moved to the Garbage Company A's address. When you did the move, did you change the name to Garbage Company A or did it remain Garbage Company B? That's the first question. Remained the same name. When you moved it to Garbage Company A, what signage did you show in the verification video? Garbage Company A or Garbage Company B? I'm saying B. So you have Garbage Company B signage at A's location. It's a yes or no. On one of the doors. Are we talking a vinyl sticker? Are we talking a piece of paper? Are we talking, what are we talking about? Are we talking smoke signals that say what the signage is? Is it an inch by an inch or is it 5 foot by 5 foot? How big is the signage? Foam
Oh,
core. Okay. All right. Does both company A, and this is actually kind of fun, Greg. The other company does
are
not
they in the
have
same city?
signage. Oh well, they're. I think it's at the same location he stated at least. So, but the other question is okay, does
Right, same
company?
location, but like company A that bought company B. Both of those are exist in the exact same location, and they just bought.
No, they were both at separate locations, but they
They were separate
moved.
locations. In the separate locations, were they in the same city or were they in different cities?
Yeah, it's same location. So they moved, but either way, it doesn't matter. Moving from B to A. Here's the next question, and I think is where we're going to start getting into the issues and the actual problems. So, okay, so company B and company A. Does company A also have a Google business profile? Ah, now we get to the thick of the issue.
There it is.
Okay. Company A and company B, do they have separate suites? Boom.
There it is.
Bigger issue. So there's your first issue, by the way. Company A, company B, do they have their own offices inside of this location? Hard pass.
Not eligible.
Yeah, verification is not going to occur. Period. End of story at this point. Um, the rule states A, you have to have a separate entrance. In this case, you don't. The rule states you have to have a separate address, suite numbers. Separate. Also, you need to have a separate working area, which is basically going to be a separate office. So if you don't have these things, yeah, you're never going to pass verification. Period. And then the assumption also is that and this is an assumption is that you probably don't have a business license or a utility bill at this address with no suite for company B. Yeah. So all those three things basically together, not going to it's not going to pass verification.
Here's the other thing. Are they going to, okay, company A bought company B. Are they going to maintain company B's brand forever? Or are they just going to absorb it into company A and eventually it's just going to all be company A since company A already had the garbage bin stuff anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as far as you know, they're going to absorb it, or yes, they're going to keep it separate.
Separate.
Yeah, I mean, they almost need to get a different office then.
Well, I mean, basically, I mean, there is a way to do this. I do this with franchises all the time. You just have to have separate suites, separate
Yep.
signage, separate offices, separate
Yep.
staff, separate business
Well, that's what
license,
I'm saying.
separate utility bill.
They've got to get a completely separate office and separate staff. Anyway,
Exactly. Just
all
like
right,
the
that was an
song.
excellent question.
Yeah, just like the song says, you gotta keep them separated. All right. Anyway, so let's go. So who's up next? Me or you? I forget. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen now. It's a tough conversation you're going to have with your customer. Your customer's going to blame you, then you blame us. Okay, so that's all there is to it.
I think it's your turn.
Is it?
And
All
we
right.
got another question from Anonymous.
No, we got two back to back actually.
A client asked Anonymous if they should make a GBP for each of their locations. So far, they just have one with a good amount of positive reviews, but all of their 6 locations are in the same city. Is GBP cannibalization going to be an issue here? If their goal is discoverability, would a new GBP with no reviews showing up in search hurt them versus their built out GBP showing up? I hope that makes sense.
Uh, Good question. Let me answer Al's follow up though. Yeah, man, you might as well keep the old GBP. I mean, you just keep it until it dies. It will die, and when it does, you just won't be able to recover it unless you move. Okay. If they want to keep it, do the following things, which is not that expensive. Okay. So, okay. Anonymous attendee. We can't call you out by name. So you're just going to have to maybe answer. Um, so basically, Emilio, if you've got questions, put it in the Q&A, please. So basically, the first question I have is if you're here, is what's the industry? I'm going to go ahead and assume. Oh, oh, wait a
But
minute.
it's Elena.
Elena.
Somebody
Elena.
finally admitted to being anonymous. This
As
is
a oh my
a
gosh.
momentous day.
All right. Thank you, Elena. All right.
This made me
So,
really
okay,
like
it's rehab.
unbelievably happy.
So yeah, you just made Greg's freaking week is what you did. All right. So, okay, it's rehab. So we're talking rehab houses probably. Which are usually going to hide their address, and it is usually a location that might have signage. So the first question I'm going to ask you is do all of these locations that are in the city have signage? No. Are they wanting to make them as service area based businesses? Well, you need signage if you want to show your address. So that's number one. So that's non-negotiable, by the way. Number two or three. I'm gonna no forget. I'm not putting numbers on it. I'm gonna forget. All right. So the next question is going to be: is that are these home? They're probably. I'm assuming they're homes. Are these locations? We'll just call them locations for the fun of it. No, actually, I want an answer. Are they homes? Yes, two of them are homes. Are these homes owned by the counselors or are they owned by the corporation? So two of them are commercial. Those are owned by the corporation. The homes are owned by the corporation as well. Residential facilities owned by the corporations. Got it. Okay. Are all of these locations individual entities registered with the Secretary of State at a minimum, or do they have business licenses, each of them? Okay. So the reason I'm asking this is because they have to be valid business entities. Okay. Whenever you're doing multiple locations, especially in the same city, they each are going to individually need a utility bill for certain, a business license, optional, powerful, good to have. Yes, tax benefit consequences, but so what for Google? And then lastly, a Secretary of State entry is a great thing to do. You probably are going to have one for the main entity and then also DBAs for the rest. Just basically the names and the address needs to match on that so Google can actually see the entity. Also, I would highly recommend getting a Better Business Bureau accreditation for each of the locations. Rehab is considered a duress category. So these locations on verification are probably going to get suspended, just so you know. So you'll need these types of things to basically go ahead and do and submit your appeal. It happens all the time, unfortunately, in rehab, because rehab, like I said, is a duress category. It's kind of like your money or your life type of category. Um, I think I covered it. Did I miss anything?
No, I think that covers it.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So we have another question. This one is also from Elena. I mean, anonymous attendee. Okay.
Do you want to read this one before we go through it? Because I don't even know. Like, it's definitely not something I can answer. I could ask you if you even know what this is, but I don't even know if this is a GMB question
Hold
or
up.
GBP question.
Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Mm, I don't really understand, actually. I mean, I know what the question is and I know what the answer is, but no, I think we can skip. We can skip.
Is it a local SEO question?
No, it's not a local SEO question.
Okay.
It's a Google account question. I'm going to just delete it. So, all right.
Oh, all right. So then that means this next one from Emilio is a good one.
Okay.
And you can
All
ask
right.
me. It's my turn.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So, hi from Emilio. I do want to know, what about the drop in leads since the Google update? There's a lot of businesses or niches that have been affected, but everything looks good on the rankings. Where to look up to see what's going on? What do you know about this Google update that can help us be aware of?
So, Emilio, first of all, the Google update, I assume that you're talking about is the one that is really publicly rolling out right now, the core update for March. It's not finished rolling out, so you can't really say who won or who lost yet, because part of the deal with this update is it involves multiple core systems at Google. And until all of the core systems have been updated, which hopefully will be by the end of the month, and they're all reinforcing each other with the new stuff, there's going to be a lot of additional fluctuation we normally wouldn't see with the core update. So it's pure speculation to talk about anything at this point in time. But the thing that is more interesting about what you asked is you said that rank tracking shows no effect, but leads have dropped. What about traffic? Because rank tracking in local SEO is typically pretty useless. It's a 10,000-foot view that's helpful, but it's not really going to tell you realistically what real world people are going to see. And you should never use rank tracking as a KPI. Your KPI should always be impressions, if anything, and definitely traffic and leads. So if your leads have dropped, has your traffic also dropped? Because if your traffic has stayed the same and your leads have dropped, that's a conversion problem that has nothing to do with Google's update.
Can I get a little guitar riff? That was an
So,
excellent answer.
what to know about the update? There's nothing to know about the update. Nobody can even tell you anything about the update because they're in the middle of rolling the update out. So, you didn't come back and answer in chat, so I'm not sure what to continue with. But my first thing to tell you would be go check your traffic. If your leads have dropped, but your traffic hasn't, that's a conversion problem with your website and has nothing to do with Google. I would assume if your rank tracking solution is telling you that nothing has changed, your traffic probably hasn't changed. So it's probably more of an issue with conversion on your site than it is with Google's update.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Cool, Ming. So we should probably, let's see. You're welcome. All right. We should probably go into, I guess, vetted questions, man. We got 11 minutes left. We got no more in the hopper. We're caught up.
We are caught up. Let's skip the first one because James isn't here, but Dre is here, and Dre's got a question.
All right. There
So
he is,
even though it
Dr.
says
Dre.
it's me, I'm going to give it to you since it's your turn.
Good, do it. Go ahead.
So Dre has a prospect customer who may be a customer at this point. I don't know because it's been a bit. But Dre has a prospect customer whose primary service is delivered by telehealth calls. Is she able to set up a GBP? Just a plain vanilla GBP to be able to get reviews and additional exposure.
So the guidelines basically state that if you are going to have a GBP, then you must either visit customers or they must visit you. Now I'm going to say this with all the amount of love that I can in the world. How the hell is Google going to know that you don't actually go visit your customers locally? They're probably not going to. Now, does that mean I'm recommending that you set up a GBP? Nope, I'm not. I'm just giving you the options. Is it nice to have a GBP that people can read reviews and such? Yep, it sure is. Can you leave your phone number off of the GBP? Yes, you sure can. Can you turn your hours off on your GBP? You sure can. Should you do all these things? That's a complete business decision. It's completely up to you. So anyway, in short, can they have a GBP? You can sure as heck try. Will you get it? Maybe. Is it in the guidelines? Probably not. Could you get away with it? You probably could. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, and Dre, this stuff you entered in chat right now, is this the same person? Like the same telehealth therapist? Okay. So a little bit more on this. It now is a client and it is a therapist that does telehealth, and the GBP was previously verified.
Oh
So
man.
Dre jumped in and updated some services, and now Google wants to
Yep.
verify again.
Yep.
She did verify again, but it's in a perpetual not verified mode.
Yep.
And there is a screencast link if you want to check out the screencast link.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what we were talking about earlier. It's not past verification. And because it's a telehealth company, it's probably not going to pass verification. I'll take a look at the video really quick, but that's what my gut tells me. So please hold while we take a look at your video. Greg, if you want to fill up the time with some stuff, go for it, buddy. Oh, wait a minute.
Is that going to make it
Never
better?
mind, never mind. Nope, this is not a video. It's just a screenshot of a
Oh,
image. Okay, so anyway, yeah, screenshot of option. Yeah, yeah, that's normal chat stuff. So basically, the problem is with the video. So it's not being accepted by Google, and so therefore it's not going to get verified. The only thing you can do is try again, which basically means you're going to continue to get not verified. Again, it's not really in compliance in the first place. So, and almost guaranteed that the company is probably not in compliance, and the location's definitely not in compliance because it's going to be a home. So, no, the re-review link is for a suspension, man. It's not for a verification issue. I don't know. That's about it, really. That's all I can think of for this one. You got anything else for it, Greg?
nope, that covers it.
Alrighty then. Then that means that the next one is going to go on you. I'm assuming that Mr. Kent is in attendance.
Not. That's why we skipped. This was actually the one that we skipped
Oh
Adrian's
my
question.
goodness.
But we
James,
can go
James,
ahead because it doesn't look
James.
like most of these people are here. Joey Abna's here.
Okay, you want to
Jump
answer
down to that
Joey's?
one.
Where's Joey? Oh, there's Joey. I got it. All right. So Joey asks, most of our clients have at least a 10% click-through rate for the GBP, according to Google Search Console. Have one client with less than 1%. Pesky clients. The GBP looks better or as good as everybody else in the local finder. Reviews are like 127. They got a 4.9, man. Business name does not contain a keyword or geo. What do you guys see for CTR in your Google Search Console for your clients, Greg?
I don't use Google Search Console to check click through rate because Search Console is sample data and it is not realistic.
Yep.
What you should be doing is attaching UTM tracking to your website links in your business profile and using Google Analytics to track how many clicks came in, and you can compare that to impressions if you want to track that. But it's really hard to track click through rate, especially using GSC data, because it's not really realistic data. You get 20% of what's really there. The other thing is, who cares what my click through rate is for my clients? It's not going to be the same as yours. Every vertical is different. And even within a vertical, every business is different. Every location is different. Depending on search volume, depending on depth of competition, there is no set or even guideline or benchmark for click through rate on a business profile.
I'll take this a little bit one step further. And that is that who gives a flying about your clicks? Okay. What I care about is calls.
Yep.
How many calls am I getting? A click, meh, it's a click. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to turn into anything.
Yep.
We are in a zero click world. And the sooner that the customers get accustomed to this, the sooner they're going to be happy. Um, calls are conversion. Calls lead to conversions. Clicks, not so much. So everything else Greg said was 100% valid, though. All right. What do we want to do for the next one, buddy? We got
Um,
5 minutes left.
let's do this one that we had marked for you from Nate, even though Nate's not here, but Nate's usually here, so I'm sure he'll listen.
All right.
So Nate's question for you is, seems like Nate heard a while back, maybe he could be wrong, but he thinks he heard that general local search is evolving from people going onto a website, they're finding all the info they need on Google search, such as the data given in Google Business Profile, such as hours, address, Q&A. So the incentive to go on the organic listing is diminishing. Is that correct? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, local's important. Organic is important too. You got to remember how the algorithm actually works. And that is that there's a local algorithm and there's an organic algorithm. The organic algorithm is going to affect your local search. Your local algorithm is not going to affect your organic search. So they're both important. But I see what you're saying. Is an organic listing important as important for a local intent? I mean, for a local intent, your GBP is definitely more important, right? Because you have your calls to action right away. But and the people are finding information more again in that zero click sense. Um, but I think it depends on the user.
Well, it depends on the vertical too. If
Yeah.
it's something like a car dealership or an RV dealership or a home builder, you're probably more likely to get people to go to your website because they need to do more research and
Yep.
browse and see things. But if you're a cannabis dispensary, or you're Greg's underwater basket weaving studio in Dallas and you're the only underwater basket weaving studio, people don't really need to go to the website. They just need to get your information of where you are and they can call you. Who cares if they go to your website? People really need to get out of the mindset of SEO equals customers going to websites. That is already not the case. And it's going to change more and more the more that AI gets integrated into search results pages. Stop thinking about being a business owner or being a marketer and the end goal is driving customers to a website. Do whatever you need to do to get customers to see you and call you or convert with you. That doesn't necessarily mean they have to go to your website.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So let's see. I guess we can just start picking random ones at this point. So we're going to go ahead and we'll just answer a question from James Cash. You're welcome, Kelsey.
Oh,
Um,
wait, this is me asking you.
oh, is it me? You see, I'm telling you, we need a sound.
Like we need something to just like be an arrow that flips back and forth or up and down to let us know whose turn it is.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so
Exactly.
James, I don't think James is here either. Is
No,
James
he's not
here?
here. No,
James
I'm
isn't
gonna
here.
I'm gonna razz
James,
him later.
buddy. Uh, James's question is: I remember hearing using 24/7 if you had a call center was always against guidelines, but it was considered low enough risk it was accepted to do. Has the stance changed where one shouldn't use 24/7 as the risk went up?
No, I mean, there's really all that I can say to that. It's like if you're answering the phones and people can place an order and it's 24, then you can do that. You really have to ask yourself is the question is who the hell is going to call you at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yep.
You know, does it really make sense? Just
And
saying.
and remember, if you say you're open 24 hours, that means that rando at 2 a.m. could try to show up at your location and try
Exactly.
to get in when you're not there. And does that really serve the
Yeah.
customers?
And I know James. James is probably asking this about a lawyer, and the answer is exactly what Greg just said there is that if you got yourself marked as 24/7, you better be able to make sure you can accept that customer at your door. Otherwise, he's going to leave a nasty review. And then somebody will report you because their competitors going to be like, they're going to see that review and be like, oh, you're not actually open. Let me tell Google. All right. All right. On to the next one. Let's see. Let's go with Willie.
You know
Willie.
what? Do the tracking number on GBP one that's below Willie, because that's
All
a good
right.
question.
Okay, fine. Okay, so Jeff has a question. Jeff's got actually quite a few questions in here, by the way.
Jeff's
Sorry,
not
and
here today.
I know, I know. It's a bummer. It's a bummer. Jeff, you let us down, man. Just saying. We'll see you 2 weeks. All right. So, tracking number on Google Business Profile. Hey, guys, we're working with a franchise of a national chain. A couple of years ago, they switched to tracking numbers on all GBP and website location pages. So, the map is kind of inconsistent and does not match all other web properties. We'd like to put the main number back on GBP and the website. Advice for how to proceed. We kind of want to avoid a suspension, by the way.
This is actually a really easy one, but it's an excellent question. So what you should be doing is DNI, dynamic number insertion. So the number that's coded to the page is the actual local number, but it dynamically changes to a call tracking number or any of a bank of call tracking numbers based on the referral of the traffic. And then what humans see is that tracking number, but the number that's coded to the page is the local number. And then on your GBP, put the tracking number as primary, and it doesn't matter if it's not the same number that's on the website. And you have two alternate phone number slots, put your actual phone number in one of those alternate slots. That way Google sees this is the alternate number that matches the number that's on the site, and it's really not going to do anything bad whatsoever. Google doesn't want to not let you do call tracking.
Right. And on top of that is I'm sorry to give B, you can't avoid suspension issues.
Yeah.
You're going to have to make a change to your GBP. You're going to have to add phone numbers. You're going to have to click save. Guess what? Integrity check happens. It can get suspended. There ain't nothing you can do about it. Just be prepared for the suspension.
Yep.
All right.
And that is it for the week.
Yeah, I think we can close her down, man. I think we can. I think we did good. This was an excellent session, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
great
much for
questions
coming.
today, everyone. Thanks.
Yes. And the fact that we've unmasked the anonymous attendee, at least for
Yeah.
today, at least for today's session, we have unmasked them. So it's always a fantastic thing. Yes. So, and thanks everybody for coming again. I want you all to have a fantastic weekend.
Yep.
My call to action to you is ask more questions. Submit those questions in advance. Now that we've gotten a little bit through our backlog, that means we're going to need more questions from you in 2 weeks.
Or more live audits.
Or more live audits. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. We love to do those. Those are so much. We had really a lot of fun today, actually, troubleshooting a couple different issues.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Cool. Bring your problems. We like your problems. The tougher, the better. All right. With that, we are out. We will see you in 2 weeks. You're not traveling, are you, buddy?
I am here in 2 weeks.
Sweet. All right. That means we will both be here in 2 weeks. And so, yeah, chill. Have fun, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Have a good weekend.
Bye, all.